clip, we're looking at the key Baroque vocal elements of aria, recitative, and chorus. So I want to play some examples of each just so you know what they are. But except for chorus, aria and recitative are new for the Baroque period, and they were invented to help tell stories. So let's look first at what an aria is. An aria is just a song where the singer expresses an emotion. So typically there's going to be orchestral accompaniment. Certainly by the time we get to the mid-1600s, arias are accompanied by orchestra, not just basso continuo. The tempo is steady and the melody is memorable. So here is an example of a Baroque aria. So listen to the steady tempo, the steady speed. Listen to the fact that there's full orchestra accompaniment and that the melody is pretty memorable, and it maybe expresses an emotion. You might not understand what the words are, but you can tell maybe what the singer is thinking. Listen to the steady tempo. Notice that there's a full orchestra. And then there's some sort of chording instrument, like harpsichord or lute or guitar of some sort. There's also a strong bass line. And we're going to repeat that opening idea. In this aria, this is the Lascia più pianga by Handel. The singer is begging for freedom and for mercy. So you have a steady tempo, you have a memorable melody, you have full orchestra, in this case it's strings and basso continuo accompaniment, and there's repetition and lots of emotion. So let's look at recitative. And recitative was invented with the opera to move dialogue forward. And if you're singing a beautiful song like the aria, it's hard to have a conversation, because conversations usually happen with give and take, and you can go faster and slower. And so the people who invented opera came up with the idea of recitative. And recitative is usually a singer or a couple of singers and basso continuo. And remember, basso continuo is a harmony instrument like harpsichord or organ or lute or guitar, and a bass instrument like cello or bassoon or something like that. Now, the other thing is, because they're trying to reflect what dialogue is, it's not going to be memorable or very tuneful. It's just a means to tell what's going on through singing, because opera composers wanted to be able to sing everything, including the dialogue. So it's not very tuneful. Often the tempo speeds up and slows down, and there's sudden changes of key, and you end in weird places, because when we talk, we aren't always predictable. So here's an example from the same opera as the Lascia più pianga. It's also by Handel, of recitative. So there's a harpsichord and a cello and a singer. But just harpsichord and cello, basso continuo. Oh, there's another singer. Okay, so you know it's dialogue already. But because the tempo is not steady, and you just have basso continuo, and there's not much repetition, it's mostly words and not very memorable melody, you're likely to expect it to be recitative. And you have sudden cadences like that one there. Just as a reminder, here's what aria is like. Full orchestra and pretty steady tempo. And really beautiful singing. Okay, the last part, last vocal element that you need to know about for the Baroque period, for Baroque genres, is the chorus. And a chorus is just a song from a large group of singers. Usually the chorus comments on what's going on in the story. They're not usually an immediate part of the story, but an example, probably one of the most famous choruses from the period, is from the Messiah by Handel as well, and it's the Hallelujah chorus. It's from the oratorio. So, full chorus. And we'll pause there. You can go listen to it at some other time. So hopefully this helps you understand what the three key vocal elements. These vocal elements, aria, recitative, and chorus, show up in all the major vocal genres of the Baroque period. So opera, oratorio. We're not talking about cantata this quarter, but also cantata. And they're going to be useful later on in the classical and romantic periods as well, though they may shift in how they sound. All right.